was due. The power that moves today, Chevy, is you. It lasts like a diamond, it's worth more than gold. It's the power in you that gets Chevy sold. It puts the whole world at your command, makes you the heartbeat of this great land. Takes hard work, commitment, takes long hours too. We know it's not easy, we got faith in you. You got the power, now it's up to you. The power that moves America. Today's Chevy and you. You know when you've got it, it means so much. The power in you lets you reach out and touch. So go for the power, it's the key to be found. The power in you makes the world go round. What does it take? Someone reaching for the sky, someone who says I'll do more than try. And you know what to do, we're in it with you. The power that moves America. Today's Chevy and you. It takes hard work, commitment, takes long hours too. We know it's not easy, we got faith in you. You got the power, now it's up to you. The power that moves today's Chevy and you. It takes hard work, commitment, takes long hours too. We know it's not easy. Yeah, you got the power, now it's up to you. The power that moves today's Chevy and you.
The power in you. The power that gets today's Chevy sold. How do you unlock that power within yourself? How do you realize your potential to sell more cars and trucks? Well, you do it by showing your prospects how a 1987 Chevrolet car or truck can give them exactly what they want. On one hand, you've got a prospect with certain needs. Perhaps they're a little vague at first, but the needs exist because that's what brought that person into your dealership in the first place. On the other hand, you've got Chevrolet, with the finest and most complete product lineup in the auto industry. The power in you depends on how well you can match the right Chevrolet with a specific customer. Sales training is the key to making that match. It begins with product knowledge, and there's no shortcut there. That means hard work and conscientious study. If you don't know your product, why should a customer even talk to you? The next step is to make that knowledge practical by understanding the real-world benefits of your product. A catalog or brochure lists specifications and equipment on a car. A professional salesperson understands how those features can help the customer. Finally, you've got to apply those benefits to the customer's needs. Different customers have different needs, but nearly every customer appreciates and expects a complete product presentation. So you've got to be able to focus and prioritize a long list of benefits into an organized presentation that will impress that prospect standing in front of you. Product knowledge translated into benefits matched to customer needs. 3 steps to more effective selling. That third step, customer needs, is really the beginning of a sales situation. A prospect walks in and says, I want to look at a new car. Well, finding out what that person wants and needs sounds easy. He or she tells you. But often it's not that simple. We've asked Bill Brooks, one of the country's top sales trainers, to talk about identifying customer needs. Brooks has worked with salespeople and managers from numerous Fortune 500 companies, and he can help you in that crucial moment when you come face to face with your prospect.
We're here today to talk a little bit about one of the most misunderstood areas in the entire area of sales training, the topic of product knowledge. You know, it's interesting when you talk about product knowledge, a lot of people think that it's how much you know about a particular product as a salesperson. And sometimes that's a little bit confusing. As some of you may know, I spent 14 years as a college football coach. I didn't tell you that, did I? 14 years. I told a guy one day, I said, I want you to go out and practice hiking the ball. He took that ball on the longest walks you've ever seen in your life. People sometimes don't understand what something may mean. You may think you know an awful lot about a particular unit, a car, a truck, or something of that nature. The question then becomes, how does that product knowledge match what that person understands? And perhaps more importantly, how does it really match what it is they really want or what it is that they really need? Have you ever seen someone who sells something to someone and they'll say something like this? Well, I don't have to tell you what that means, do I? And the poor prospect or customer stands there and says, no, you don't have to tell me what that means. But they really don't understand what that means. Does that ever happen to anybody here? They'll say, oh yeah, I don't, they're not going to admit that they don't know what it means, but they really don't. I recently went in to buy a computer. I walked in, the guy said, what a beautiful computer. Isn't she a beauty? 16K. I said, I don't want to spend that much. You see the point? Sometimes we misrepresent, not because we're trying to misrepresent something. We represent something to someone, but they really don't understand what it is that we're talking about. Let's talk a little bit about what product knowledge really is. What it is your ability to access from this huge data bank of information, all of this information that's there, your ability to access that and apply what you know to meet the needs of the prospect or customer. I think it's very clear today as we look around the United States and particularly in the automobile industry that we see that we're dealing with a customer-driven organization. Would you agree with that? Let me give you an example of this. Are you interested in knowing how much a doctor has learned in 25 years of formal education? Or are you interested in getting a headache fixed? I'm not interested in going in and having the doctor tell me all kinds of stories about everything that that person knows about feet and heads and hands and ribs and hearts and all those other kinds of things if I've got a pain in my little finger. And that's exactly the same thing when it comes to product knowledge. Let's talk a little bit about how you find out what someone wants or what someone needs. The first and single most important thing we think you can do as a salesperson, as a professional salesperson, is to break preoccupation and gain rapport. Someone once said, how can you tell when a prospect is lying? The answer, he or she opens his or her mouth. I'm going to suggest to you that's true if you haven't gained rapport and broken preoccupation. How many of you would feel that perhaps when someone walks into a dealership, they're a little bit nervous? They're a little bit upset, they're a little bit distressed, they're under great stress. They're perhaps not sure about what they're going to be greeted with. They feel a little bit of pressure. They're unhappy about being there. What if I were to suggest to you the following? When trust and rapport are high, pressure is always low. Does that make sense? How about when trust and rapport are low, pressure is always high?
How do you really know when you gain somebody's rapport?
Good question. One of the things that we're going to suggest to you is to look in someone's eye and listen to how they feel. One of the things that we talk about in sales training is this. Have you ever noticed if you try to look in someone's eyes, you glance back and forth? Have you ever noticed that perhaps sometimes someone won't even look you in the eye? I'm going to give you a little tip. Look in one eye and listen to how they feel. What's going to happen is you're going to start to focus. And when you focus, what happens? Feelings are emitted and communicated more clearly. And all things being equal, I'm going to suggest something else to you. That 2 weeks after that prospect is in your dealership and has purchased an automobile or a truck from you, they're not going to remember anything you said, but they are going to remember how they felt. You see, the whole purpose of when you first initially approach someone is to break preoccupation and gain rapport. And once you've done that, the next most logical and simple thing to do is to simply find out what their needs are. I can tell you right now the type of person that I am if I walked onto your particular lot, into your particular dealership, and you immediately opened up the hood of the automobile and started to go into great detail about the size of the engine and the power of the engine and what it does and how it works. In all likelihood, I may walk away. I'm not that interested in that. Does that mean it shouldn't be demonstrated? Of course not. We emphasize certain things. The analogy that I'd like to give to you, if I could, would be a computer. And the ability of a computer is that it stores vast, vast amounts of information, doesn't it? Lots and lots of information. One of the beauties of a computer, however, is the ability for the particular person working that computer to do what with that information? Access whatever relevant parts of information that person needs to solve a problem. And that's exactly the same thing that we're going to suggest you need to do in terms of product knowledge. I don't know about you, but for years I knew an awful lot about my particular product. And you know what my philosophy was? To very simply and very quickly walk in and just give as much information as I could to my particular prospect. Now, let me tell you why I did that. Several reasons. The first one was, it's safe, isn't it? No one likes to challenge an expert. So if you come across like the expert and shower these people with lots and lots of information, you're running no risk, are you? The second thing is, everyone likes to be an expert. Is that not correct? You like to know that you know a lot about whatever it is. And the third thing, and one of the things that really leads to lots of problems for people, is that they think that's the way to sell. The way to sell is to see yourself as a physician, accessing the information that you have about your particular unit and what you can do to stress the features and the benefits of that unit. Now let's talk a little bit about that for a second, features and benefits. A feature is how you describe a particular unit. So would someone like to give me a feature of a particular automobile, perhaps cubic centimeters, perhaps axle ratios, perhaps color coordination, or whatever the case may be? That's a feature. A benefit is what that particular feature will do for that customer or prospect. Now, in order to know specifically what someone needs to have something to do for them, isn't it important to find out what they're going to be using that automobile or truck for?
What do you do with the customer that wants their best price first?
Best price first, good question. You're going to find people that are going to do that, quite obviously. What I would generally do in that case is I would say, I understand that price is really important to you, but let's take a look and see if we have something that really does meet your needs before we really get into that. You see, price is secondary to value, isn't it? You must find out what someone values before you present price. If you immediately throw that price situation out there, what you've got is you've got a situation where everything degenerates to a question of price. And if someone is purely selling price, in my opinion, they haven't created value. So what have we said? We've said that it's important to break preoccupation and gain rapport. We've said that it's extremely critical to determine what specific wants or needs your customers have before you begin demonstrating, telling, or selling. And demonstrating, selling, and telling is nothing more than accessing all of this information that you possess about a particular unit and then demonstrating how that particular unit has benefits that are of great advantage to those specific needs that your customers have indicated that they have. That is product knowledge, and that's how you apply it.
Listening to your customer, questioning, probing, clarifying. They're all part of that very important qualifying process, where you learn exactly what your prospect wants and expects in a new car. Once you understand your customer's needs, it's time to present the product benefits which meet those needs. Now notice I said benefits, not features, because features are only important when the customer can see how they pay off in actual driving situations. For example, you're showing a prospect a Cavalier, and you mention that it's fuel injected. Well, unless that prospect is an engineer or an auto enthusiast, fuel injection may be nothing more than a buzzword. However, when you explain that the feature of fuel injection means better gas mileage, fewer moving parts, and improved cold weather starting, you've shown 3 benefits of fuel injection. Those benefits help meet a customer's need for lower operating and maintenance costs and dependability in wintertime. This process of meeting a customer's needs might be likened to a pyramid. At the point of that pyramid, at the point of the sale, are your customer's needs. It's the narrow part of the pyramid because it's a very specific situation. Each customer is different, and you'll need to tailor your presentation to fit the individual. Your presentation will be based on product benefits in the middle of the pyramid. There are numerous benefits from each model of the entire Chevrolet lineup. And remember that benefits, not features, fill a customer's needs. The base of our pyramid is product knowledge. You've got to know your products, know their features and related benefits before you can satisfy the needs of your customers. That's not an easy task, but it's the foundation of effective selling. Developing product knowledge takes time and work. There's no substitute for concentrated individual study, and there's plenty of information available. You're watching one of the most important sources of product information, the 1987 Chevrolet passenger car product training video, and it's probably the best place to start. This year's training arranges product information into key selling points for each car line. We know the tremendous amount of information you need to understand to be an effective salesperson. By using the key selling points of each car to help you qualify your prospect, you can better focus that information into an effective walk-around presentation. The selling points are fairly general, styling or fuel economy, for instance. and they quickly summarize the consumer appeal of each model. These key areas are based on careful consumer research. Let's take a look at this year's celebrity segment to see how those key selling areas are presented. It opens with a quick description of the various celebrity models in a variety of situations. This brief introduction sets up the three key areas.
To keep the 1987 Celebrity one of the top-selling cars in America, there are three key areas of buyer interest to consider when qualifying prospects: design and styling, power, team and suspension, and room and comfort.
Those three areas show why most people are attracted to the Celebrity. An animated graphic of a key highlights the beginning of each key selling point. Each section indicates specific product information that supports the general category, and that information is translated into benefits, such as how Celebrity's excellent aerodynamics contribute to better fuel economy. This key selling feature approach complements your walk-around presentation and helps you keep it customer-driven, whether you're selling Sprint or Corvette. The new product training program is an excellent training tool, especially as a starting point to focus your knowledge to the needs of your customers. But there's no way you can get all the information you need from the video. You've got to use additional material. Your Chevrolet passenger car product guide is a thorough source of information. It covers things like cubic feet, engine horsepower, wheelbase, and other product features, specifications, options, colors, and order codes. The product guide inserts, which accompany the videotape or disc, should be kept here with the product guide. These inserts support the video in showing you how to match product benefits to customer needs. Throughout the year, updated information will become available. By keeping it with the binder, you'll have an easy-to-reach source of current information to answer those very technical questions that customers sometimes ask. Consumer brochures are also important because you're better able to see the product from the consumer's perspective. And if you can get hold of competitive brochures, study them. That will help you deal with the growing number of comparison shoppers. Being a professional auto salesperson means keeping up with your industry. Trade publications, consumer magazines, and local media can help you spot trends that relate directly to your customers. Knowing your product requires a commitment on your part. You've got to invest your time and effort, which pays off in increased sales. Whether you're brand new to selling cars or a veteran who needs to stay updated, the more knowledge you have, the better salesperson you'll be. As a professional salesperson, you're the most visible member of the Chevrolet team. When a prospect walks into the showroom, you are Chevrolet to that prospect. Standing with you is an organization that prides itself on having the industry's most complete lineup of cars, one for every market segment. It's an organization with an exciting image that captures the imagination of today's buyers. And it's an organization that changes with the demands of those buyers, going anywhere in the world to find the right products. But on that entire team, you're the most important player because you're the one who translates the power of Chevrolet to the customer. You do that with empathy for the customer by understanding what that person really wants and needs in a new car. So you begin your walk-around product presentation by focusing on your customer's needs and continue until you cover the benefits of the vehicle. While we can't give you a set formula, we can show you examples of real Chevrolet salespeople in selling situations. They will demonstrate walk-around presentations based on customer needs. As you'll see in the product segments of the video, key selling areas for each car line are generally the major benefits that attract prospects to a particular model. These key selling areas help you qualify your prospect to a particular model and then help you tailor your walk-around presentation to what the customer most wants to hear. Let's go to Don Mealy Chevrolet's outdoor showroom in Orlando, Florida to see how it works. Ken Hagabush is one of the dealership's top salespeople. And in this case, he's learning that his customer wants performance as well as room and comfort.
Welcome to Don Mealy Chevrolet. Could I assist you in any way?
Yes, I'm really not sure what I want, but I need something with performance, speed, the room, mainly for my business.
Okay. Well, let me show you the Celebrity. This is the Eurosport model. The Celebrity has a low, rounded front end and a high tail end to give it an aerodynamic look. The Eurosport package is a sport performance package that they put on the Celebrity. It has the blackout molding, door handles, mirrors, and the grille on the front. Everything's blacked out for the sporty look. It has a Goodyear Eagle GT tire, which assists the sport suspension that the Eurosport has. I know you mentioned performance as well. This has a 2.8 multi-port fuel-injected engine, which is going to give you that power I think you're looking for. Show you the inside as far as the roominess and comfort.
Does it have power steering?
Yes, it does. That is the tilt wheel there. The tilt wheel combined with the reclining back seat, you can actually adjust the vehicle to the way you want it to feel. It's easy for access, and if there's going to be other drivers driving, they can adjust it to the way they like it too.
I see it says automatic. Does it come any other way besides automatic?
Yes, there's actually 3 different transmissions available for it. It has a 3-speed automatic, the 4-speed automatic, which is the overdrive transmission, which this one has, and there is a 5-speed Getrag.
What's a Getrag?
Well, that's the name of the transmission. It's a performance transmission. It fits right in with the Eurosport package. It's a real smooth shifting. It's a German-made transmission.
Oh, so you're telling me when I get ready to get on I-4 to merge with the heavy traffic in the evening, it's going to just pick up and go?
Yes, the 2.8 multi-port fuel injector is going to give you that power that you need.
What about the radio?
Well, that radio there has the 5-band graphic equalizer in it. You can actually shape the sound the way you want it to sound. You can see the instrument panel here, the way it's laid out. Very easy to read. It also gives the driver the comfort of knowing what's going on the outside as well as on the inside.
Okay, what about the room in the back?
Show you the back here. If you like a back seat.
Okay, let me try it for myself because I'm
Certainly.
tall. Okay.
There's 36 inches of legroom in the back. You'll seat 3 adults comfortably.
It's nice.
Do you use your truck?
Yes, I presently have a station wagon. I do the room, but I realize I have to get a smaller car for my business.
Uh-huh. You'll be impressed with this large trunk. There's actually 16 cubic feet of storage back here. It's very deep trunk.
Where's the spare tire in the jet?
It's located right underneath here. They lay it down there so it stays out of the way up here. It's get that look into it, leads you all the room.
What is this for?
That is the vinyl cover for the sunroof. I don't know if you noticed or not. This has a real sunroof. You can take that clear out, put it in the handle, prevent it from getting scratched.
It's nice.
Well, we could talk a lot about the performance of the way the vehicle handles, but would you be interested in taking it for a test drive?
Yes, I want to take it for a test drive.
Can quickly establish the